Hey guys, Czar here. Finally got a little bit of action happening here. Getting a close above into that upper zone. Looking for a potential buy. I'm just going over to my own platform now so I can participate in this with you potentially. Over to Interactive Brokers in my case, no affiliation. I just get asked a lot, so I'm telling you where I trade for just for scalping and day trading. All right. I'm also very much involved in swing trading, which is actually where I have the bulk of my, I'll say, wealth. But I use different platforms for that. All right. And sometimes Interactive Brokers. Here we go. Buy stop live. Buy stop live above where you see, so above the current wick. I need it to break itself essentially, okay? I just need to see that pullback first. We got a little bit of it now, so now I'm going to wait for the candle to flip itself. And I'm only going to go for, this will be a very small point move, 10 points, because this is a super sluggish morning. It's about a 1-to-1, a little bit less than 1-to-1 under the body. Really incorporating proportion here in terms of the entry. Being very cognizant and aware of this wick and this wick. So I'm kind of straddling with my entry there. I needed to blow through both of those in order to have a chance here at those 10 points. I may even take 9. We'll see here if we can get this. Watching closely. Super sluggish, guys. This is NFP Friday, by the way. It's December the 2nd. Friday, December 2nd. NFP will be in about under 6 hours. 5.5 hours. Pardon me, 4.5 hours. 8:30, right? Alright, waiting to see if this thing can push. Not looking like it wants to. Excuse me. I actually should have waited for more of a pullback on that. I need to ask myself, am I jumping the gun here a little bit? That's a better pullback. Slightly. The reality is time back here, there's a better pullback. Time back here matters too. So even if we don't go a whole lot deeper, if we spend some time down here, it counts. And it might be hard for some people to understand that, but it just does. I'm going to delete this opening range now because it's just kind of noisy, visual noise. Visual clutter that I'm not a big fan of, contrary to what you might see on my charts here. Or contrary to what you might gather by looking at what's on my charts. See here, time spent in this consolidation. Because when you spend time back here, this 20 EMA, for instance, actually comes up to meet price instead of price dropping down to it. It's a little bit of nuancy concept there, but it's an important one when looking for optimal entry configurations here from a structural standpoint, right? We're looking for structural integrity in our setup. So I'm in this trade now. We're going to watch both the 1 minute and the 10-minute chart. See it there? It's my first trade of the day. We're 1 hour and 4 minutes into the London session, and not looking good. That rejection, those rejection lines you see there, those blue lines, clearly are acting as rejection here. Yep, there it comes. So likely to take a little bit of an expense on this one, also known as a routine loss. It was worth flipping the coin, but we'll see here. We're not dead yet, just close. Either way, win or lose, this is what we do, and we'll transparently demonstrate that. Here it comes. You'll often hear me talk about the coin flip, guys, and if you haven't heard that, please go to my mental game playlist, trading psychology playlist, and watch the video or podcast, really, entitled "The Mastering the Art of Coin Flips" or the mental game of coin flips. Highly recommend it, and actually the entire mental game playlist. I would play the top 6 videos on a loop, quite frankly. But this is all we're doing. We're tossing a coin. I always call heads. My coin is weighted slightly towards heads because of my model, my trading model, and my psychological edge. That edge weights my coin slightly towards heads, but that coin can absolutely and regularly land on tails, but still, because the outcome of any trade is random and uncertain. And that's the truth about this trade too. And if it lands on tails, it'll mean not take an expense today to start the day, and that's fine. That's part of trading. We'll see here. This coin is in the air still. It's looking like it wants to land on tails and issue an expense into my trading business. It's a routine expense. All businesses have expenses. In trading, those expenses, of course, are commissions and spreads. That's the smallest part. The real expense of trading is the ongoing routine losses. It's when the coin lands on tails and you've called heads. There's no getting around it, no getting away from it. We've had a pretty remarkable string of heads lately. I've had a handful of small losses lately. A lot of several break evens, but been super. I'm gonna say lucky. The reality is, since the outcome is relatively random, it's uncertain or unknown. We've had a good string, but I will tell you that my win rate has gone up fairly significantly since I've started sharing with my Telegram group, and that's because it's keeping me more disciplined. Sharing with the group every trade I take now, it's not just me alone in my office that I've done into my 4th decade now, but I'm responsible to teaching my Telegram group sound practices, and that's keeping me very, very sharp and avoiding a lot of quite a few trades that I might have taken before that I don't take now, because I want to be a good example to my group. Even though I can afford to take more losses, I don't want to do that. I don't want my group to be taking more losses than they need to, and so we're doing a lot of work on avoiding fake outs and sitting on your hands and doing nothing in the face of the markets here. Here we go, and stopped out there, guys. That was an 11.75 loss, routine expense in the business. And I'll be posting this obviously to YouTube and looking for the next opportunity. So let me just clarify again why I took this trade. It was a breakout of the opening range. If you remember, my opening range is always this candle here, the opening 10-minute candle. Right there. We had a break and close, a pullback, not a very deep one, a pullback and a break above, and I took it. And then the market issued this routine expense to me because it's not ready to go up yet, right? There were those rejection wicks. Those were, I could have avoided this trade because of that, and possibly should have, but it was worth the coin flip for me. And there we go. We'll see you a bit later, guys. Hopefully we'll get some more trades here. I'm sure we will. And we'll talk to you soon. Take care.